Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to yet another podcast from the Boundary Riders. So IPL has reached a interesting stage at the very beginning. Like it's the first week and it's already reached an interesting stage. Today we had two teams who are battling against each other. One team has a king, the other team has the prince of Indian cricket, and they faced each other. Though the king and the prince, they themselves did not have a very good match, but otherwise this match ended in a very interesting manner where we were feeling at the beginning that RCB could be favorites because they had won two back-to-back matches and they were coming into this match. But again, home is not a very favorable territory this season or for RCB overall. We have seen that RCB does not do that well in their home matches as some of the other franchises do. So overall, a pretty one-sided match. But let's discuss about this. Let's start about discussing about it through RCB's innings. Maybe Shrikat, let's start with you today. Anything interesting that caught your eye throughout the innings of the RCB while they were batting?
Yeah, I think the middle order collapse, what happened, right, which they have not faced during the first two matches. I think Patidar played beautifully in the previous two matches. He somehow missed out today, and that created a collapse. So there was no holding up in between. Eventually, Tim David did what Tim David does in his usual territory, but at the end of the day, there was a huge problem in terms of rotating the strike, right? So I feel Livingston was the standout batsman, but look at his strike rate. At certain point of time, it was around 40 runs in 36 odd balls. So probably he did what Kohli missed out to do today. So
Right.
I think Livingston's innings is something which created a difference of 30 odd runs. And eventually he did finish strong, but at the end of the in that ground, if you score at such strike rate, it does end up hurting your overall score, and that is what have happened. And this was the first innings if I talk about, and eventually the thing which we discussed I mean before the start of the IPL, right? What is the major concern of this RCB team? And that is exactly started coming up in this match. I think it's a start of the side. I would say they missed out the spin attack. Look at this, the what Sai Kishore did today. I think he gave some 25 odd runs in 4 hours and bowled beautifully. And the wicket he got of Krunal Pandya with that carom tossed up ball, and that was very well executed, I would say, in this specific this fast track wicket. And on the other hand, look at what Krunal Pandya did with his bowling. So, and he's again he has to bowl those 4 overs, right? I mean, he's kind of bowler who does not usually bowl all those 4 overs, but he's the lead spinner. And today Suyash Sharma was also not there. Eventually, these are all these areas which will haunt them throughout the season. I feel a champion team should have a champion spinner, either a leg spinner or a wrist spin attack as well. I think they're missing out on that, and probably this is somewhat visible, and it has started the downfall and downslide of RCB's bowling unit.
Yeah, they always belong in that risky territory. They win a few matches on a trot, and then you never know when they go into that slide. But the team, though, is looking better than the last few seasons, but still, like that risk element or that element of fear is always there with RCB. Let's talk briefly about Siraj's bowling. Like it was kind of a home game for him. If you look at, he has played all his last IPL for this in this ground for RCB, right? 3 wickets today, and that gesture that he belongs there, right? Arjun, do you want to speak about it?
Yeah, I think Siraj bowled really well. I mean, I think he was one of the weakest links for RCB in the previous seasons. He was actually the leader of the pack, and yet, I mean, he was very disappointing. But I think Siraj, we have seen. I mean, these kind of spells we have seen from Siraj when he was playing for RCB as well. If you remember that, I think he had some magical spells there as well. I mean, especially with the new ball, right? He had a point to prove today, and that's what he did. That first the removal of him from the Indian team, and then I think also, I mean, before that, all the RCB also did not retain him. So yes, definitely he had a point to prove today. But not only Siraj, I would also like to talk about the overall bowling lineup that GT has, Gujarat Titans has, right? So they have four fast bowlers, you see, right? They have Prasidh Krishna, they have Siraj, they have Kagiso Rabada, and I think they played Arshad Khan today instead of him. And there's one more Ishan Sharma, right? So they have four bowlers, and they have two spinners. So their bowling looks very formidable. And if you see also R Sai Kishore, right? So if you see the most expensive bowler today for GT, it was Rashid Khan. So Rashid Khan being their best bowler, and he was expensive today. So just imagine that if Rashid Khan also clicks, then this bowling lineup would look good. And they have some other stock options as well. I mean, if anybody fails here, I think they have a Shah Rukh Khan who can bowl an over here and there, right? So potentially they have 6 or 7 bowling options, which is a great sign, right? And the kind of pitches Siraj would be getting in Gujarat, especially, we had seen the kind of pitches we had in Ahmedabad last year. If those are the kind of pitches that Siraj would be getting this season, I think he will be doing well. He will be flourishing. I see him getting maybe 15 or 16 wickets at least in this entire IPL season, if not more. So yeah, I mean overall a good game for Siraj and good game for GT. But one thing I would like to say is that to Saikat's point, uh, I think pitch had a lot to contribute today for the RCB batting. Right, it was a damp wicket. It was difficult to bat there. Uh, I would still call. I would still say that coming back of form of Livingston is a positive for RCB. I think previously I think it was Virat Kohli, Rajat Patidar, and then it was Phil Salt who was scoring most of the bulk of the runs. But I think and Team David was doing that finishing touch, right? But except for that, I think Livingstone did not have a great role to play, and I think he had a very disappointing season last year as well with Punjab. So him scoring a 50 is very crucial, and I hope when the pitches are better, when the pitches are less damp, in this condition that RCB has, which is always a batting friendly condition, I think he will be doing well. He will be doing well in the future. And Jitesh Sharma also played a very good innings here. So overall, I would still not say that RCB are again back on the downslide. Maybe it's just a one-off game, but yes, very rightly pointed out by Saikat that they do have a problem with the spin department. That's always there. I mean, we talked about it this previously as well. That Krunal Pandya is a kind of a bowler who, on occasions, might give you 2 or 3 wickets, but otherwise he's a 4 over 35, 40 bowler. Yeah, so that's what I would like to say about it.
Right. And GT's fielding was also not up to the mark today. I think they dropped a few chances, and also few chances here and there. They always were on the verge of missing it. So if they would have been grabbed onto, then the RCB's total would have looked quite different, right? So yeah,
I,
overall,
I think Livingston got 4 lives in his innings of 54. There was a couple of catch which went down, and one stumping as well by
right,
Butler.
right,
Correct.
Butler was terrible behind the wicket today, but eventually did not matter. He
right.
made up with his batting.
Right.
And yeah, because you raised Butler's batting innings, Riksha, you want to talk about it? Butler as a batsman back to form.
Yeah, before that, I just want to add a couple of things. So we are getting our comments from our viewers. So Doipan Bhattacharya had commented that Siraj was consistent in his line and length, creating short of the length, and the consistency was what we were missing for Siraj. Maybe GT can use him going down the line. Yeah, so I would also agree. I will just talk about how GT started. So Siraj was very aggressive from the beginning. We saw the glimpses of the old Siraj, how he used to dismantle Sri Lanka. So we saw that Siraj today. He was bowling very cut to cut, like into the wicket, stump to stump, and he was very consistent, very aggressive. And he kept his. I mean, he troubled the RCB batters. I mean, like he was not giving them any room, and he was the sole factor that RCB had a very slow start and they lost a couple of wickets and then they couldn't recover from that. I mean, even though Tim David at the end tried to hit a couple of sixes of Prasidh Krishna, I think Prasidh Krishna and Ishan Sharma also gave them a good support. Rashid Khan, actually, I'm debating from a question that will come. Rashid Khan was the only weakest link in that bowling point. Generally, in the lineup, they bank on Rashid Khan's ability to turn the ball under any conditions and any situation and take wicket. But it was quite surprising to see because the wicket was little sticky. It favored the bowlers a lot today. So it was quite surprised that Rashid couldn't click. I mean, he's now turning out. I mean, he's like losing his mojo going forward. So let's see how they utilize him. Coming back to GT's batting, yes, I said that Butler should have always opened, but I think there was a discussion in the commentary team that Butler wants to play at number three. I think he played number three for England too. So that is why he's not having any issues playing number three for GT. But because it was quite an achievable total, their start, which is a problem. Like Sai Sudarshan stays for a long time in a GT score, and his strike rate is around today. His strike rate was 136. Now, thank God that the score was achievable, and you had other players who could hit boundaries and all. Even I was surprised to see Rutherford's strike rate is quite low, despite him being a very hard hitting batsman. I think his strike rate is something 120, something like that, which is quite surprising. So that is I mean, key factor that they had an achievable total. Their batting lineup clicked. They didn't lose wicket. I think now the cricket has gone back to the traditional form of maintaining wickets and all. They did that, and they were quite clinical into that. And also the pitch became a little drier during the chase, and it was easy to bat on. Even Livingstone's bowling was like, it was unbearable to see Livingstone's bowling. He was like bowling kind of like some a random Parar Kaka come, and then he wants to bowl couple of deliveries, and he used to bowl leg spin in his younger years. Such kind of bowling. He was just standing there and delivering couple of balls, and Butler hit him for huge sixes. So as a spinner, they couldn't leverage Livingstone, and I do not know. So yeah, so GT's batting was quite clinical, but if GT has 200 plus or 210, 20 plus score, they might face a little bit of trouble because the way Sudarshan and Gill start draining. They keep their wicket, but their strike rate is abysmally low. We have another question.
GT actually has a problem like CSK. First of all, is that they don't have a finisher. I think one of the comments that still not seeing Glenn Phillips for GT. Absolutely, I mean, spot on.
I'm
That
very
comment is
surprised.
spot on.
Actually, it's a very good question. I
Yeah.
still don't see Glenn Phillip, I mean, Rutherford playing over Glenn Phillip. And I think they played 3 overseas players today, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, it was Rashid Khan, Rutherford, and Butler. I think yes, 3.
Correct.
That's what
Yeah.
they played.
And there is no reason I mean, I don't see why Glenn Phillip is not your fourth overseas. I would have rather played Glenn Phillip ahead of Rutherford. Rutherford is just like what Manish Pandey did for KKR, right? That is the kind of batsman he is. But
And
I
they
don't
can
know.
have
He's
Glenn
all
Phillips
three
ahead of Shah Rukh
departments
Khan or
there.
somebody like that also, an Indian batsman also.
Absolutely. And they have
Yeah,
Tewatia
absolutely.
as well, right? Even if not Shah Rukh Khan, he should be playing in place of Tewatia.
Right.
Correct. And I think the problem is that, so GT has a similar problem as Rick Joy correctly mentioned, right? GT will be winning those matches where the target is around 170, but they will be deeply hurt when there is a target of, let's say, 200 plus. The problem, there are multiple problems in this GT batting lineup. The bowling looks good, but the batting has multiple problems. One is that Sai Sudarshan and Subman Gill both are similar kind of players. I mean, they will score a 30 ball 40 is on almost every day, unless they score. I mean, at a very high strike rate, they will generally score a 30 ball 40. So that's one of the problems. The second problem is that Shah Rukh Khan is not a proven finisher. He has not had good seasons recently. I don't remember when he had a good game last time.
Yeah.
Tewatia did have some good games, but I think previous year he was not that good. He was very ordinary last year. But I think 1 year back, I think he had. But he's still not in that particular form. And they have a Rutherford, right? So they have a problem like CSK. They don't have a proven finisher. They don't have a finisher in their lineup, right? So that's where the role of Glenn Phillips comes. I mean, I'm very surprised and shocked to see the kind of impact that Glenn Phillips has for New Zealand in all formats, not only in T20 but in all formats, and the kind of gun fielder that he is. Even he can bowl as well, right? He should be definitely in that lineup. So completely, I think I don't know what was the logic behind not playing and playing only 3 overseas and not picking up Glenn Phillips at least today. But even if they have 4 overseas, even if they have Rabada, I would still never go with Sharfan Rutherford, right? I mean, he was not there. He was not there in that lineup in Kolkata as well. So definitely that's a big miss, and it will definitely hurt GT in the coming games.
Also, a very good point raised by Dwipan in the chat that Washington Sundar is not featuring in GT. So I think that's the direct impact of having this impact sub rule, right? So GT will end up, or any team would end up having a batsman better than Washington Sundar and a bowler who is better than Washington Sundar in terms of bowling.
But
So that's a direct.
I would like to add a point over there. See, Washington Sundar or Mahipal Nomrod. So let's pick up Washington Sundar first, right? Washington Sundar is a spinner. He's not a hard hitter, right? He is okay. I have not seen him play a blinder of an innings ever for either a franchisee or for an Indian team, right? So what he can play is he can play as a spinner. Now, now GT already has got 2 spinners, and they both are doing. I mean, Rashid Khan is a big name, and R Sai Kishore is doing well. And do not forget that R Sai Kishore is a potent batsman as well. He has done well in the domestic cricket. He's a good batsman. So I don't think there's a place for Washington Sundar in this lineup unless R Sai Kishore fails, or if they think that okay, let's have some off spin variation for a right hander. But I'm coming to Mahipal Lomrod. Mahipal Lomrod again, I think he had played some here and there knocks uh, for RCB, but he's not played a very big impactful innings for RCB. I don't think there is a case for Mahipal Lomrod. I think if there is a case for anyone, it's definitely Glenn Phillips. I don't think any other change is needed in the GT lineup.
I
And
think
but
yeah,
if a team of 11 would have been chosen, then I think
Hmm.
Washington Sundar would have definitely made a place, right? He makes a place for himself in the Indian T20 setup, but he does not find a place in the franchisee, which is really surprising. So that's
Because of
that's
the
I
the
think
reason.
it's a straight swap between Sai Kishore and him, right? So I don't see
Right,
Sai
right.
Kishore have done anything wrong to they have trusted Sai Kishore over Washington Sundar. So I
Hmm.
still feel there is a definite plan going on with Nehraji, with Glenn Phillip as well as Washington Sundar. There's a handsome amount of time left in this tournament. Just 3 games are played, right? There are definitely some plans which are there for the last 5 games. Washington Sundar is your first go-to power play bowler for any team, and you cannot bench Glenn Phillip and play 3 overseas, right? There has to be something which they have planned for each role for at each venue because
Right,
I would still feel that if they have 4 overseas players who should be playing ahead of Glenn Phillip, it's not the case as well.
right.
So if
Absolutely.
they have a plan,
And
they
and
will execute at certain point of time.
whenever RCB goes for a bowler in an auction, we always feel panicky. I'm sure even the bowlers might be feeling panicky where if they are getting beat by RCB. So one such bowler, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, when he went to RCB, we felt that he would he has he can potentially get hit out of the park in the Bangalore Stadium, right? But today he did pretty well against the expectations, Riksha.
Yes, Bhuvi was the only bowler from the RCB lineup who actually understood the condition, and he worked on the. He was bowling based on the batsman's temperament. He was understanding whether the batsmen are going for a hit or they want to defend, whether what kind of feelings. And he was the only mature guy from the RCB bowling lineup who at least showed respect to the condition and the type of batsman playing there. So he was not trying to he understood that there are some challenges in taking wickets, so he was not trying to take it, at least try to contain the run, but because their target was quite achievable, so Bhuvi's role was undermined in the current setup. But I think from the bowling perspective, he was their best bowler, even better than Hazelwood. who got hit for a. I think Rutherford hit him. I think Rutherford also hit Bhuvi for some shots, but I would still say that in the beginning phase, Bhuvi was the only person who was trying to get the best out of that pitch.
Right. And this is strange that we are having a 20-minute discussion in a match involving RCB and we have nothing to say about Virat Kohli. So, like,
There was a tense moment for 5 minutes where commentary team was also very tense when he got temporarily injured on his arm. So he was there in the boundary line, and he was trying, and the ball kind of bumped in front of him, and then it, like, because it was like a damp condition, it just took a turn, and he was trying to stop that ball, and it hit him somewhere around here, and then it went for a boundary, and he just sat down. It was like the commentary team. I'm not sure. Like, there are many commentaries, but that this is the first time he's gonna get injured in his career. Will we see an injured Virat Kohli? And then, like, oh, he's in pain. He's in pain, and those kind of reactions were coming from the commentary team and all. But yeah, gladly after the advertisement break, he was good. That's the only thing I can say about Virat Kohli today.
right. So yeah, now with this match, Punjab comes to the top of the table. We have DC next, RCB on the third position, and Gujarat Titans in the fourth position. So of course there will be a lot of shuffling there, but I think like the teams who are in the top four, they are deservingly there, doing pretty well. So let's see where it goes. Out of the bottom six now, MI, LSG, CSK, SRH, RR, and KKR. Or then do you want to take this question? Who looks the most promising to go up the order?
Okay, I think. Okay, fine. I think let's take the question from the point before that. I think it just proves that RCB's top order dependence is coming back, even though having him and we will middle order. Uh, to a point, yes. I think, see, RCB's batting revolves around Virat Kohli, so Virat Kohli has to do that holding role. That's otherwise we will end up seeing them losing 7 or 8 wickets in the match. That is one thing. And but the other players, I mean, so there are two key things, right? Thing is that Virat Kohli has to bat throughout. That's what the template has been for, let's say, at least 15-16 overs, and the others have to contribute with a 200 plus strike rate. That's how the template would look like generally going forward. I think uh, from the last years, their batting looks better. RCB's batting looks better, and with Jitesh Sharma, Tim David, and Liam Livingstone, and even Rajat Patidar, he's also doing very well this year again, right? So I don't think they will falter much with the batting. Again, to me, it was just a one-off case. They might bounce back, but yes, yeah. One thing we have seen is that their failures repeatedly again at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, right? So that's something concerning. Let's see how the next game goes. So that's your answer, Dwaipayan. I think I think this batting will click as a unit. So
Yeah, I think in
coming
the
back to
first
the
match as well, right? Virat Kohli was the one who was anchoring throughout the chase
yes,
against KKR. And the second match, I think he also faced 6 overs.
We have a
So I think
timeout.
that would be a template.
We have a timeout, and we have a guest. Babita, please show
yeah.
your guest.
We have a guest.
He's
We have a guest
getting
analyst. We have a
he's
guest
getting
analyst.
pretty fit, Jetty. So I had to bring him live just to settle him down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Coming to the
So
question, Somadev, you mentioned, right? Out of the 6 teams, so this is it's too early in the competition. I mean, those tables would definitely turn, right? We would see a lot of ups and downs here and there. Out of the promising teams, I would say that again depends on when Bumrah is back. But if Bumrah is back, I think Mumbai is one of the promising teams for me. They will definitely be in the top four for me if Bumrah is back. If Bumrah is not back, it will be a bit difficult. But I still see that the kind of bowling lineup and batting they have, I think they would still be in top four. Uh, LSG would be a surprise for me if they do well. I think Akashdeep is also, I mean, they have got a boost that Akashdeep is also going to be available from the next matches. Not sure if he will be a part of that 11, but LSG have a devastating batting lineup. I mean, they have a destructive batting lineup. So if they club it with the bowling that they have, right? If the bowling also clicks, the newbies, whoever are there, right? So I think LSG also looks promising.
Right,
That would be
right,
my top two picks.
right. Anything else to discuss about today's match? Otherwise, we'll go into the match among the finalists tomorrow. Finalists of the last year, of course.
Yes.
Anything else to point out between the match in the match between RCB and GT?
No, I think
Okay.
I have
Yeah,
nothing from my end.
yeah.
Saikat
Let's
or
move to
Rijja, you
the
want to
match.
add?
No, we can
Yeah,
go to the preview of tomorrow's
Hmm.
match.
So it's a match between the finalists again at the Eden Gardens. What do you
yeah,
feel?
we can do a quick preview like tomorrow. First of all, there are two newses. One is that so the pitch curator had created two pitch. One is dry pitch and one is drier pitch. Okay. And he has given that pitch to the KKR management and captain and asked him which pitch would you consider. So Rahane went for the drier pitch. So now the second question is that if Eden Gardens now become the rank turner, will the KKR batters have the ability to counter people like Zampa or their other spinner Abhishek Sharma? So
Rahul
we
Chahar
have
as well,
Rahul
if
Chahar.
they play.
So it is a question whether the KKR batters have the aptitude and the ability to actually counter spinners from the other teams too, because we do have like spinners, quality spinners, and if you add Moeen Ali into the team. So the second question is that if Eden Garden does have a rank turner tomorrow, will they play Moeen Ali instead of Spencer Johnson? So these two news is floating around. I believe one of them will be uh, important, and it can backfire too if the KKR batters do not handle spin well on this pitch. Then again, they will be complaining they want a different kind of pitch and all. The pitch controversy is becoming very instrumental in this IPL. Every team has a say on what kind of pitches they want to play and all those stuff. So yeah, let's see. Based on like if that happened, that will be a very radical shift because last year IPL Eden did have a lot of high scores, but if slowly if they want to change that pitch into a very slower version of it, then we will see a radical change in the Eden pitch. We will again start to see low scores in the stadium, which is like good for bowlers. But I mean, like even though we are seeing that change, like we thought that this IPL would have 250 plus score in every match. That is not actually happening. If you notice, like the pitches are being made in that way, the bowlers have gotten more intelligent. Like I think if you remember, Lord Shardul said that if the batters gonna slog from the first ball, then we are also gonna slog from the first ball. So that was a very interesting and I would say very philosophical line. So the bowlers are also preparing that the batters will go, against them from the start. So that is why we are seeing a little bit of turnaround. We are not seeing 200, even like we thought 250, rather that 200 plus score is not that much frequent in this IPL. So the evolution of like the approach of batters and bowlers is a great dynamic
I
that
think
is
in Eden
happening.
Garden pitch, it's a news for me as well. I was not aware that Eden Garden pitch they have offered as a dry and drier pitch. But I think it will
Yeah,
be a good contest at Eden Gardens if we have a slower pitch, considering the ground is pretty small. If you
yeah.
still connect, it will go for a six handsomely, right? So it's some or the other way. If you bat well in the slowish wicket, you will get runs, but you won't expect a 250 wicket, which is again a very good wicket to have as a cricketing audience.
Yeah.
Right. And like Rigja rightly pointed out, many of the teams are complaining about pitches in this season, right? I think Zahir Khan yesterday was the fourth person out of the captains and coaches to complain about the home pitch not getting offered the way they want to. And I think like having the home advantage is for any league throughout the world, and for like any kind of sport, having the home advantage is integral part of this league system. And if that is getting discounted in the quest of the pitch preparers trying to stamp their authority, then it's not good for the league overall, right? At least because the teams often go into auctions considering that this is the kind of pitch they have in offer, right? So they should have, the home team should have some say on the kind of pitches they get, is what I feel, right? So yeah, that is something interesting to see tomorrow. I think both the teams from the last year, what we saw, have a similar kind of approach where they go very aggressive in the first 6 overs, and they have a kind of similar template of playing in certain extents. It would be much like the contest would be much about which team's bowlers or spinners bowl better. I think, right? Or then, do any other thoughts regarding the match tomorrow?
I think it's going to be a evenly contested match. Both the teams are hurt from the losses they have. I mean, they are the top two teams from the last year, but some things are hurting them. Like for SRH, it's mainly the top heavy dependency, right? If their top three, four they are not firing, then they are not going to have a very formidable total. And for KKR, it's again, I mean, their batting is not clicking. Even their bowling is not looking very good, right? So it's going to be like it's going to be a very good contest between both the teams. Hope to see a good battle because they are the finalists of the last year as well. I would look forward to certain battles. One is I would again like to see how Sunil Narine bats, right? Because I don't want to tell myself that he was just a one season wonder. So let's see how Sunil Narine bats. That's one thing that I would like to look, and the kind of start he gives would set up the template for KKR tomorrow from a batting perspective. One interesting battle would also be the Varun Chakravarti versus Travis Head battle. That also I would like to see. I think we had in the Champions Trophy as well. I would like to see that battle again, right? So those would be some key battles that I would looking forward to, and I think in the comment box we heard a few names, right? Jishan Ansari, I think Jishan Ansari bowled really well last day. Um let's see if he is a good promising bowler and he bowls a good spell in the coming match as well. And one more player that I'm looking forward to, maybe it's a very wild prediction, but I feel Russell is going to play very well tomorrow. I think he's going to have a very good innings tomorrow. Let's see.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
So
would,
I
So
I,
think if
I would add
KKR
one more
makes
thing.
that,
KKR gonna miss Mitchell Stark tomorrow.
Yes,
yes,
Travis Head. Travis Head is the bunny.
right, right,
and I think
right. Yeah.
if they have, if I don't know whether they will play the third spinner in place of Spencer Johnson or not. In that case, Russell have started bowling. They had to, Vaibhav Arora missed out because of that impact sub rule. So Vaibhav Arora comes back and they drop Spencer Johnson to play Moeen Ali to strengthen the batting, right? The problem was with batting last match. So
Yes.
that kind of innings, even if we are not expecting Moeen Ali to bowl all 4 overs in that sluggish wicket, or we don't know what is going to be that wicket around, at least he will give a lot of muscle in that batting lineup as well. And just to
Absolutely.
talk about about Sunil Narayan's impact, right? So just get the stat of Sunil Narayan with Gambhir as a captain and coach or a coach, and
Exactly.
the impact of Sunil Narayan without Gambhir. So you'll get a significant,
Yeah,
difference in
that's
the
what
number.
I'm just trying to
So,
convince myself that he's not a one season wonder. He is not a Gambhir wonder. I'm just hoping above
uh,
hope, but let's see.
yeah, so I
Yes.
think his contribution will be just to get those 5 or 6 economy rate in a high scoring match and get 1 or 2 wicket. That's all. I'm not expecting him to score a big run or score anything beyond 15, 20 runs tomorrow. Yeah, I think we got a comment that why they can start with Mayank Markande, right? So I think that depends a lot if they are playing Spencer Johnson. I believe if they are continuing with Spencer Johnson, then probably Mayank Markande may come in place of Vaibhav Arora. I don't know what is the pitch going to be. If they don't play Moeen Ali, then or if they play Moeen Ali, I don't think so. Markande will be playing because they'll already have three
Hmm.
spinners.
Correct. Right.
Right. So I think we covered all the points in terms of today's match, and it was a good preview of the next match also.
Let's have the
So
predictions for tomorrow, and let's be unbiased. let's not let's not wear the KKR hat.
Rigjai, you go first. You are the most
My
unbiased person
unbiased
here.
prediction will be KKR again. My unbiased
Okay.
prediction is KKR tomorrow because I believe Hyderabad may collapse. They may have a batting collapse tomorrow under the fiery spinning spell of Chakravarti and Sunil Narayan.
Right, right. Ardhendu?
Going by the law of averages, Hyderabad have failed twice in their batting. I think they would click tomorrow, and they might win this match tomorrow.
Right. Swikat?
I feel SRH. Considering the ground dimension, some or the other guy will click. And
Yes.
and the other part is, even if KKR starts well, right, the middle order is terrible with low on confidence. I mean, a flat
Right.
dig, they couldn't connect, they couldn't middle the ball. So I think they will go as a very narrow-minded view of not targeting 200 plus if they're batting first, and that will be coming in their mind. So I think SRH game tomorrow.
My prediction is again, I would go with SRH. I think they will have a good match tomorrow. And as I was saying the other day, right, I don't see a character around the KKR setup who will lift them up in this situation when they have gone a bit
Correct.
down, considering the last match, how it went for them. So, yeah, I
I
think
think they
that's
need
it.
a character to lift their coach himself. He needs some lifting up.
Right, right. Yeah. So I think that's it in terms of this podcast. I think we had a good flow of discussion, only interrupted by this little one who is climbing up on me at this point of time, and you can hear his voice.
I think he's
So
cheering
yeah,
for KKR.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we all have rough days throughout the day with office and all, and still we try to bring up interesting discussions for you, and we try to speak our heart out. So I believe if you like our content, then please go on to subscribe to our channel and also share it with your friends as much as possible. And if you want to join us live, please let us know, and we will definitely invite you in one of our discussions the very next time we have it. Thank you so much for being with
Thank you.
us. And please, as I mentioned, subscribe to the channel. And goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.